meeting monthly agenda. May 9th, 2019. Members present, myself, Kurt Hunter, Greg Poulin, T.Y. Okerson, also Jessica Ward, Airport Manager, Gene Simmons from City Council, Paul Schaefer from BFNS, Chris Yelski from the Police Department, and Douglas Stanheiser, one of the tenants here at the airport.
And was that one?
Oh, okay. I thought you said you were throwing him off. Okay, yeah, members absent is Jeff Bartlett.
Yes.
Who is working today. Okay, did everybody get a chance to read the minutes of April 18th meeting?
Yeah, I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. Is approved.
All right, I'll move right along. So for our current account balances, we really do not have much change over last month, the month before. The only thing we're over our projected budget in is gas and electric. As you know, by the end of the year, it should even itself out, but it looks like we are over by $2,272.48 right now. Another account that I will actually be looking at is building repair. We have $105.19 in there. Markless Electric came out and they put in our new sensors in the motion sensors in the bathrooms.
Mm-hmm.
So that was, I put that under building repairs, like building, items or whatever. So that came out of that account, and we also had this past month we had something else. Oh, our door right here broke. Like the
we're closing.
Yeah, the closer.
Yeah.
So we needed a new one of those. So that was like over $500 for that repair. So those are the two things that we had done. So I'll be watching that account. I mean, I have money I can move around if I need to in that third set of accounts, but that's just something I'll be keeping my eye out on, building maintenance and repair. Other than that, aviation fuel, we've only used not even 1% in that account yet. The only thing we've really paid for out of that account so far this year is just with fuel lease, tank lease payments.
$350, right?
Yep, $325.
$325.
So that's all that's come out. We haven't had to get fuel yet. As you know, in November when we did that project, we had to fill the tanks all the way up to the top. So we haven't needed to get any fuel since, but it looks like we'll probably be needing to get jet fuel, I'd say within the next month. This next month, maybe May, June. Airport projects, we've only used 6% in that account. We're at $144.22.86, and we're looking good.
We have another visitor.
Hello,
And you are, sir?
I'm John Morocco.
John Morocco.
Nice to see you. Hey, T.Y. T.Y. there. That's T.Y. Simmons. Good to see you.
You have a seat, John.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, fuel prices? Or fuel sales?
Overall, we sold 1,869.9 gallons of 100 low lead, 1,305.1 gallons of Jet A, and 51.5 gallons of Swift fuel in April. No fuel prices have changed for the last 2 months. $4.44 is 100 low lead self-service. Full service is $4.54. Self-service Jet A is $3.43. Full service is $3.53. And our self-service CUL 94 is $4.43 per gallon.
Thank you. Would you like to address the airport pancake breakfast?
Sure. Fly-in, drive-in pancake breakfast is going to be held on Sunday, July 14th. The FOP is going to be putting the breakfast on again this year, and we'll be having a meeting soon to finalize plans, pricing, things like that for that. So I'm glad we have a date set. This is probably the earliest we've had a date set in at least the last 3 years. So we're pretty excited about that, and we're going to start getting going on that.
Okay. Do you have anybody flying in with their airplanes, things like that?
Oh, I hope so. I'm going to reach out to see if we can do helicopter rides this year. We did those a couple of years ago. Wouldn't that be fun? So we're going to reach out to that and maybe get the med helicopter out here, and they'll bring it out and kind of talk to people about what they do and stuff. So that's always been a big hit. Maybe canine demonstration, maybe some zoo animals. Maybe I'm going to try to do some exciting things this year. So we'll see. We'll see what we have up our hats. And then one other thing that I wanted to talk about was a gazebo. T TY and I and Kirk and I, we were going out and looking at, Troy's area, and he put that new gazebo in over there, and I love it. And I was thinking about here, utilizing gazebo somewhere in this area, like in between these two buildings, or maybe a little, in front of it, for just keeping people out of the sun. A lot of people come out here and sit and eat lunch and watch skydiving and planes come in and out. And I thought it would be really nice. So we went and looked at gazebos at the Amish Structures, which is across from Evergreen Plaza. On 20, and they actually have one out there. It's an oval gazebo, and it is a 10 by 12 by 7, and they will deliver it to us. It's their display out there. They'll deliver it for $4,600, which is a discount. It is normally $5,906, so that's like a $1,300 discount over their normal built and delivered price. And I took pictures of it. If you guys want to see kind of what it looks like.
Did they know this is for us?
Yes. So I think I just showed you the pictures, but if you want to swipe to the left, you can see the pictures, and then it'll get to TY's Pizza Shack. So when you get to the Pizza Shack, you're too far.
That's it right there?
Yeah, that's part of it, and then swipe over. And
Get it, just because it's going to have my name on it.
Yes. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
It's got benches. It has everything in here.
Yeah.
Oh, you have that, yeah. So it has like the benches in it. It's cedar roof, cedar shakes. Their stain is painted white. So that's all added in there.
And where do you want to put it?
Pretty. I would like to put it either on this patio that we have. Now we have that big ramp light right in front of it, so it's kind of like holding water right there.
Yeah.
So I'd like to put it either on that patio or right behind it, and maybe build up the patio a little bit more. So it's kind of like higher from where it is right now. Or else Kirk and I kind of talked about maybe right here in this like front area.
Yeah.
But
Because then you can see the,
yeah, you could.
Right.
And so we just have to talk to Paul about how far back we should have it off the ramp,
That's awesome.
if that's a possibility to put it in that area.
no problems.
Sounds
So you did approval for that or?
Yes.
Okay, well, I make a motion that we approve by the gazebo for $4,600 for the outdoor.
Second the motion.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion is passed.
Excellent.
We got the gazebo coming. When's it gonna come, by the way?
Tomorrow, I hope. I'm gonna ask. I'm calling him tomorrow. Find out. I can't order it till you approve it, so.
Okay.
It's probably
Just-
It's probably on.
So I was just gonna say, beat me to it. Here's the truck now.
Yeah, right? Yeah, thank you. Text him right now, let him know.
Okay, airport
That's all you have?
One quick question
Oh,
about
yes,
the lights. Whatever happened to those lights? Are they gonna adjust them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the reason they haven't done that yet is because the ground is just too wet. So they will totally rip it up completely trying to adjust those, because they're gonna have to come out here with a lift.
Okay.
So they put them in like how they were actually written, like in there was at a 45-degree angle, so that's what they put them in at originally. But they're gonna have to come out, and BF&S wants to be here when they adjust them as well, and they'll have to come out and, adjust them so they have the best lighting over the ramp. But just with all the water that we've gotten, we can't do that yet. So right now they're positioned in the grass.
Yeah.
So it's nice and dry. The grass is nice and green
Yeah.
at night.
They're not like where they're supposed to be.
Nightcrawler hunting easier.
Yes.
Really.
But yeah, they will be repositioned.
You always not fishing now. Fisher of men, no.
Maybe. All right. Thank you.
Okay, airport development, how volume?
Yep.
I'll jump into that.
Okay, you should have a report in there from us. We have one action item this evening. It's for AIP 21, partial pay request number 4. And this is total 9,170 FAA shares, 8,253.50, and NDOT is $458. And your local then is $458.50 as well. And this is on the runway 220 expansion. It goes under that grant that's listed on the table there. So you'll see with this pay request, it'll put us at 83.98% complete. we'll have a $60,000 balance left in this grant. The FAA did refresh my memory today in our meeting. We do have one older open grant, AIP 20, that needs a closeout letter, but it's financially closed, so I've removed it from your report. So as soon as they run out of money, I put them out of my mind. But there is a closeout letter coming on that one. So
I'll make a motion that we approve AFP 21 partial pay request for $9,170 for the FAA. I'm sorry, $9,170 total. $8,253.50 for the FAA, NDOT $458.50. Same for local, $458.50.
Wait a minute. You said these are the correct ones?
Yes.
458.50, 458.50, and 825.53.
Correct, Bob?
Well, this one does have.
It doesn't have the
50
50 cents.
it doesn't have 50 cents yet.
Okay, I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, the runway extension?
Yeah, we had a very good meeting, positive meeting with the FAA today, I thought. Greg and Jessica went with us. We went to the Chicago ADO office and met with them. We had the assistant manager in the meeting, Christina, your program manager, and then Gary Wilson's the airport planner. He replaced the previous planner, Mike Brown. So we won't go through all those items. The agenda for that meeting is in your packet. It's right behind the grant. It's right here. It's got the May 9th on there. So these are all the things that we talked about in the meeting. High level is we're in a really good place on pretty much all of the prereqs to get the project to where we need to fund it. Two critical items that we already had approved to refresh everybody's memory was the runway length justification, the runway protection zone concurrence. Those are complete and signed off on. We still have the airport layout plan update. That plan we had submitted had multiple back and forths, and they requested an update on the obstruction analysis, which is what this last grant was for. That's been at the FAA since September. And then the environmental document, that's going really well. The FAA had 5 initial comments. We've responded to those 5 comments. One comment was more coordination with US EPA. So US EPA issued, in my opinion, a very positive letter. The closing paragraph in the letter said, we commend the airport and the stakeholders for a south expansion, versus they were very adamantly against the north expansion. So they commended us on the project approach. They have some very template response comments, 10 pages worth of template response comments that they put in there. So the FAA has asked us to go through and create a matrix that shows where we've responded to each of those, or how the document answers each of those things. So we'll be doing that. And then everybody seemed to be pretty positive that we would receive those sign-offs by October 1st, which is an important date because that's the beginning of the next fiscal year. So if we have these planning documents in place, it should put us in a really good position to get money in 20. We talked about the money quite a bit and the phasing and how the CIP that the board approved back in January, the phasing got a little heavy in the second year, money-wise. So NDOT had requested that we redistribute the money, which we talked about in the last board meeting, but we hadn't really gone over that face to face. So we went over that and we talked about that. We also talked about a request to deliver the project in an alternative delivery method called construction manager at risk, which is a way to try to basically get a program, a multi-year phased program on the books that would fix all the prices, would put a maximum price on it. And the nice thing is it eliminates a lot of variables in the program. They seemed interested in entertaining that, so they had done it in Illinois before. So
We're in Dun and Black, right?
well, it would be for a company such as, it wouldn't necessarily be set up for them. So how the program works is you select a designer, which you already did that, and then the designer puts a 30% conceptual set of design drawings out. Construction managers submit on the program, and they basically, we lay out the parameters. We have a maximum of X number of dollars each year, phase it over a number of years, those types of things. They come in with a program, they compete based on qualifications of the contractor and the basically the price that they're guaranteeing to deliver the project in.
But it's still like a time and material, right, with a cap at the top, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still a bid price coupled with qualifications in conjunction. So the nice thing about it is it just basically nails down the cost on the front end, rather than if we design, bid, and build each phase as we go along, we won't know the last year's cost until we get to the last year. So they seemed interested in that, like that discussion, and they're going to check on that and see what kind of response they can get from their side on that delivery method. So, but there are multiple contractors in this area that are capable of doing the project in that means and method. So there'd be plenty of competition on it.
Let me just add one thing. When we was at the meeting, Rob mentioned that they look at projects now, and one thing the FAA is trying not to do is cause an impact into the local community or at the airport by stringing out projects. So once they commit to a project, they're going to try to take it all the way to the end in a time frame that's consistent with the least amount of variables. That's good and bad, because what it does is it reallocates a certain amount of money into those projects, and those people that are trying to start up projects, there might not be money available. But when I left the meeting, in my personal opinion, as we were leaving, I felt pretty good that we were right there. We were in line, as good as you could be, as good as you could present our petition to the FAA. We were right there as far as where we needed to be and what we needed. Everything that they asked us, all the questions, well, we've done this, we've done this, we've done this, all those were answered at the meeting. So, like Paul was saying, based on the ALP, which is all done and ready for approval, which Paul brought a brand new copy of that, gave it personally to Gary, and so he's got that. And then the EA, and the only thing with EA, there was just a couple things with the US EPA questions, because they had basically a 10-page generic thing that just needs a matrix to go with it. So we're going to have a response matrix, give it to them, and then there shouldn't be any hiccups from there. After that, now we're in the funding phase, where, okay, this is what we want to do. Are you going to pick us up or not? So everything is checked in the box. Paul went over, if you look at this agenda, went over all the design that's already been done, all the monies that have already been invested in this project. They're very happy with all of that. So I think we met and exceeded to a certain degree. We exceeded their expectation going in, and we left that meeting in a pretty positive attitude.
Good. So on standby.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, we stopped short of them writing us a check. We don't have a check yet, so I will get there.
I'll pay that.
We'll get there.
Paul, I have a question. It's on your FAA comments. It's number 2. Talking about the description of Highway 20 is awkward. I really didn't quite understand
Oh,
what
you're talking about this page?
yes.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, this was,
It's the EPA comments.
these were Bob Beauchamp's comments on the EA from back in February. I had included this so you could see, the actions that were taken on there. So number 2, it was kind of clunky the way that was written. It was written a little awkward, and then they also wanted the language to better align with the advisory circular. We had used, in their opinion, some dramatic language about, a undesirable safety situation. And the language that better fits is, it's desirable to clear the entire RPZ of above ground objects. It's pretty minor.
These are things that Bob were looking for. These were Bob's comments, and these are the responses. And what Paul did at the meeting was to review and refresh everybody at the meeting that Bob doesn't share. Hey, this is what we've done, and this is where we're at. And then Bob presented a couple more things that I mentioned that say, okay, we just want the matrix now and the other item. What's the coordination with the DOT and the process going forward.
So did that answer it was, sometimes, I'll confess this, engineers are not the best writers in the world. We're really good on the numbers
Say it
side.
isn't so.
Not so good on the numbers side. All right, so that's kind of the summary of the FAA meeting. I think the only other noteworthy on that project is the tone and blank purchase agreement went out on April 26th. You have a copy of the front end of that. It's not the entire, there's also a package of rights that's in the, this is in your packet as well. And, of course, that they have a certain number of days to respond. They've already done that with a question. We're working on the question. I think we're in a good position there. We just need to go through the formality of making sure all of the numbers are lining up on their side. So that's where we're at with that. And
You haven't heard from them?
well, they responded back with a question. That question, there's a discrepancy between some acreages that are listed in the GIS tax record and the appraisal. So they just want us to get all of the acreages to align better, or have an explanation on why they don't, and get back with them.
Where are we? Let's see.
The last one. Oh yeah, we have a utility meeting in the terminal area because it sounds like it'll be widely attended again. Pretty much every utility except for water and sewer, because we've had the separate meetings with water and sewer. Everybody else, gas, electric, all the fiber optic guys, communications folks, they'll be here on that day. Anybody's welcome to attend. It'll be pretty boring stuff, but you're all welcome if you'd like. And then I still owe Jessica a hangar site exhibit for the airport to help market your property and available build sites. And then Jessica already talked about the lighting. It's operational but not aimed correctly, and we need to point them in and up to try to get them more lighting in the right area that you want light.
Windy City update?
Yes, I have their operating agreement extensions that Bill Nelson put together. The only change that we did over last year, you guys did approve this already at the last meeting, but I'm just giving them to sign. The only thing that he changed is he added the tanks, the fuel tank that they'll be using, and the hot fueling section, with just, what requirements we had and what requirements the fire marshal had. So if you guys wanna sign these, he's already signed them. Troy has. He said that he finished out last year about 3,700 jumps, I asked him. That was tandems only. And then he said the year before was 3,800, so it was only 100 less. And he said in July, he had to make up 300 tandems from July. That's how bad the weather was last July. So he made up 200 of them by the end of the season last season. This year he's hoping for about 3,800, I think, again, tandems. And he said April has been pretty good. Last year he didn't open up till May, so April's been okay. He's a little nervous about weather now in May because of, the crazy weather we've been having. So he's glad that he did open up early. Fuel tank he should have out there the next couple weeks. He is done moving things around. He had to order new things for it, so he'll be ready to go with that. In the next couple weeks, he's already started the foundation for it. He's moved the tent back. Everything's within the parameters of the operating agreement right now, and he's just ready to go.
Now, my understanding is you moved the gazebo back, or the tent back, but somebody could stand against the fence.
Correct.
Because
They don't want objects. Yeah, they don't want anybody sitting there, like no benches, picnic tables, objects, but people standing there, okay.
Alright.
So,
Okay.
there's an update for that.
Anybody have any old business? New business, lease extensions?
We do. We have a lease extension request for MC Hangars Association hangar. There it is. You guys just need to approve the lease extension. Their 20-year was up. They have 10-year extensions. After that, we also have a new lease agreement, our aircraft storage land lease agreement. This was approved 2 years ago, 2017 was when this was approved. So all leases that come up, available for lease extensions are going to be with this new lease that we have. So the only thing that we've really added onto this lease is for entities. We now have it's of course probably the very last page.
Personal guarantee.
Addendums to aircraft storage land leases. If it's an LLC, then they need a guarantor, for use in lease agreements with a corporate or LLC leasee. So we just need a guarantor on those now. So that is gonna play in effect with the MC Hangars Association. And John's actually the treasurer too, right? So, that's something that we'll just have to give you guys a new lease, and have that signed and a guarantor on that. I don't know who that would be for you guys I guess that's for you guys to figure out, yeah.
Well, Dale is the primary, I think he owns,
Yeah, he's the one that signed
there's 16, he owns 13 of the 16, I believe, so.
so yeah, then he would probably be the guarantor.
Yes.
I'll entertain a motion to extend the lease for one consecutive term of 10 years, effective
Awesome.
June 9th, 2014. What?
Effective this year.
Yeah, well, that's
5 years
correct.
into it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
5 years, that's it.
okay. Do we need,
I'll make that motion.
A second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
and then next we have the sale of hangar A510, right of first refusal letter. I forward that all to you guys.
Mhm.
Can you read it?
Huh?
Read it.
Sure. To the Board of Aviation Commissioners, I, Douglas Steinhauser, wish to sell my hangar 810 for the price of $65,000 and terms as follows. Cash. I understand that the Michigan City Board of Aviation Commissioners has the right of first refusal. I understand that if the board does not wish to purchase my hangar at the price, above price and terms, I am free to sell it to an outside buyer who currently has plans for it to be used as an aircraft storage hangar and for no other use besides aircraft storage. If the above price and terms should change before the purchase of said hangar, I understand that I am obligated to inform the board of this before selling to any outside buyer. Do we have any interest in the hangar?
I suggested we let the hangar go, so
Make a motion.
I make a motion that we let the site, Scott Steinhaus?
Yeah, Doug.
Doug, so
Yeah.
just so it's Okay, so I make a motion that we approve the sale of this hangar to Mr. LaRocco, right?
Well, my brother and I will be buying it.
Okay, so, okay.
Okay, I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Congratulations.
Yay!
Thank you. Very good, congratulations.
And here's the new lease. I told you I would print it out for you.
Thank you.
You can look it over and,
Sure, thanks.
it's not for you yet, it's just a template, but
Okay, thanks, Jess.
Okay, police short course,
yes.
Chris Yagowski,
Yes, thank
what you
you.
got for us?
Yes, I got 2 or 6 new officers coming out of the department Monday morning. So we want to do a short course, which will take 1 day on June 5th. So we'd like to utilize the same area that we used last year. We'll continue on with our agreement that you've previously done for October, that we'll use the month of October to do the rest of the officers. We'll do 85 officers at that point. We'll do just the 6th on the 5th. If that makes sense.
So how long will it take all that?
We're looking at about 6 hours, roughly speaking, give or take. Depends on weather.
Yeah.
And how quickly they learn.
Mhm.
They'll do the classroom version first, so we'll try to get that done at our department. Then we'll come here and start utilizing the airport to run through the course. It would just be a cone kind of situation. So if emergency arises, we can get the cones out of the way for whatever plane might need to be utilizing the
Okay.
runway. But it'll probably be that whole day. I just have to plan on
What day is this now?
Wednesday.
June 5th.
Wednesday, the 6th of June.
Okay.
Oh, 6?
I'm sorry, 5th of June, 6 guys.
Motion that we, let the police department use our facility here for their training, June 5, right?
Yep.
Your second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Alright.
We're fully insured through general insurance as everybody else is here.
Right.
Yeah, right.
We know where to find you.
Yeah, but we don't want you to have to utilize that.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thanks, Ira.
Take care.
Claims docket.
That's me.
Nothing.
Actually, that's with a bunch of Comcast EFTs too. The controller's office realized that they pay the Comcast bill for the whole city out of their office with EFT. And they realized that they weren't actually putting them on the claims dockets for the different departments. So that's with like a bunch of extra like Comcast.
What'd you buy in the tractor? New Holland track country.
I don't know, I'd have to look.
Sounds good to me.
You want me to look for you right now? I think we did, I can't remember.
Something was broken, I remember you.
Yeah, I
remember
talked
you
about
telling
it
me,
at
I
a previous
forgot.
meeting, but I
I
can't
forgot.
remember. Hold on.
Was it the brushes?
No, not for that. It was a broken hydraulic line or some sort.
Oh.
I don't know. I was just testing it.
The harness.
The harness?
Yeah, the broom, the foil, and the harness for the brush.
Okay. So yeah, thank you. I'll make the motion we approve the claims docket for $7,317.46.
Second motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
It's right on top, actually.
Any correspondence?
No.
Public comment?
Nothing?
Gene?
Oh, I'm good. Just
Congratulations again for your win.
Well, thank you. Thank you again.
Very good, yeah.
Looking forward to another 4 years, hopefully.
Yeah, I hope you come back here too.
I have up until July for someone to run against me, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we should have demanded a recount. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
All right, I make a motion for us to adjourn.
Next meeting, all in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
That's a record, Kirk. You want-